My friends, I want you to hear me today, not just with your ears, but with your spirit, because what I am about to say is not a casual word. This is a divine word, a sacred call, a holy announcement, sent straight from the throne of the Almighty. God is not done with you. God has not forgotten you. God is not ignoring your prayers. What looks like delay is divine preparation. What feels like silence is sacred strategy. God is about to shock you, not with pain, not with trouble, not with more of the same, but with favor so heavy, so overwhelming, so undeniable that it will bring tears to your eyes and trembling to your knees. You're not just going to be blessed, you're going to be stunned. Because when God moves, He doesn't move small. When God opens a door, it doesn't creak. It swings wide. When God lifts you, He does it in a way that no man can take credit for. And when God pours out favor, it comes pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's what's coming for you, not because of who you are, but because of who God is. God is faithful, God is merciful, God is powerful, and when He decides to favor someone, no devil in hell, no force on earth, and no mistake of your past can stop it. There is someone listening right now who has cried in secret for far too long. You've carried burdens in silence. You've been overlooked, underestimated, and ignored, but God saw you, God heard you, God watched you remain faithful when you could have given up. You kept trusting when it made no sense. You kept sowing when you had nothing left. And now God is saying, I am about to shock you with favor. Not just any favor. Divine, supernatural, life-altering favor. The kind of favor that flips the script in a single moment. The kind that takes you from the back to the front, from last to first, from rejected to celebrated. The kind of favor that turns your mourning into dancing. You see, favor is not luck. Favor is not a coincidence. Favor is the deliberate hand of God choosing to highlight you, to lift you, to open doors for you that no man can shut. And when it's your season for favor, you don't have to manipulate, you don't have to strive, you don't have to force. It flows. God makes a way where there was no way. God makes people say yes who were ready to say no. God makes things fall into place that were falling apart. And the amazing thing is, God does it in a way that leaves no doubt. It won't be subtle. It won't be quiet. It won't be average. It will be shocking. People will look at you and say, how did that happen? They'll wonder, how did you go from forgotten to favored? And all you'll be able to say is, God did it. Because the kind of favor that's coming will be so unexpected, so extravagant, so unmatched, that no explanation will make sense except one: God. This is not a motivational cliche. This is not just another feel-good message. This is a prophetic reality for those who dare to believe that God can do the impossible. For those who refuse to settle. For those who are tired of just surviving and ready to see the glory of God unfold in their life. But hear me clearly, favor doesn't always show up the way you expect. Sometimes favor walks in dressed as rejection. Sometimes it looks like delay. Sometimes it feels like loss. But don't be fooled. Don't be discouraged. What looks like a closed door is often the wind-up for a better one. What feels like an ending is often the setup for an elevation. God hides favor in unusual places. He hides it in disappointment to test your faith. He hides it in hardship to grow your strength. He hides it in patience to increase your reward. But when it's time for God to reveal His favor, it comes suddenly, it comes unexpectedly, it comes with such clarity and conviction that your spirit will leap inside you. You'll know this is not man's doing. You'll know this is not your skill, not your resume, not your connections. This is the favor of God. And once you receive it, everything changes, not just your situation, but your identity, your confidence, your perspective. You begin to walk with a new strength, not from arrogance, but from assurance. the assurance that if God is for you, nothing can stand against you. God is about to put your name in rooms where your feet have never been. He's about to put your work in front of eyes you've never met. He's about to honor you publicly for what you endured privately. But you must stay positioned, you must stay faithful, you must stay expectant, because favor flows to those who are prepared. Favor is attracted to faith. God does not bless empty hope. He blesses confident trust. So don't shrink back now. Don't doubt now. Don't disqualify yourself with small thinking or past mistakes. God doesn't consult your history before declaring your destiny. What He has spoken over your life still stands. Someone needs to hear this. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. You are protected. You are marked for favor. And no matter how long it's been, no matter how dark it's looked, no matter how hard it's felt, your story is not over. God is just getting started. The wind is about to shift. The tide is about to turn. The doors are about to open. And when they do, it won't be just a blessing. It will be a shock, a holy shock, a divine interruption, a sudden explosion of favor. You're going to wake up and find that what was hard has become easy. What was missing has been provided. What was delayed has been released, not gradually but suddenly, not barely but abundantly. Because when God decides to favor you, He doesn't trickle it, He floods it. You won't be able to explain it, you won't even be able to understand it fully, but you'll feel it, you'll see it, you'll walk in it. Because it will surround you like a shield. It will go before you, behind you, and beside you. And those who tried to harm you will have no choice but to watch God honor you. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to praise God in advance, to prepare like the answer is on its way, to celebrate like the doors are already open, because they are. In the realm of God, it is already done. The favor is already written into your story. The breakthrough is already scripted in your future. God is simply waiting for the right moment to reveal it, and when He does, it won't be partial, it will be total. It won't be small, it will be mighty. It won't just change your life, it will change generations. Your obedience has not gone unnoticed. Your integrity has not been in vain. Your tears have not been wasted. God has collected every one. God has remembered every act of faith. And now He's preparing a table for you, not in private, but in the presence of those who doubted you, rejected you, and mocked you. This is the season of divine reversal, where the lowly are lifted, where the last become first, where the hidden are revealed. And when God favors you, He silences every enemy without you having to say a word. You won't need to defend yourself. You won't need to beg for a seat at the table. God is building you your own. You won't need to knock down doors. God is creating entrances no man can block. You won't need to strive. God is about to make it happen with His own hand. And when He does, there will be awe, there will be amazement. People will say, that could only be God, and they'll be right. Because this kind of favor cannot be manufactured, it can only be received. So lift your head, strengthen your heart, wipe your tears. The wait is almost over. The shift is here. The signal from heaven has already been given. You are about to walk into something you didn't earn, you didn't expect, and you can't even fully imagine. God is about to shock you with favor, not because of your performance, but because of His power. Not because you deserve it, but because He delights in showing mercy. Get ready. Favor is chasing you. Favor is finding you. Favor is falling on you like rain. Heavy, undeniable, supernatural favor. You won't have room to contain it. You won't have words to explain it. All you'll be able to say is, this is God's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes. Stay faithful, stay obedient, stay available, because what God is about to do for you will shock even you. And when it comes, when the breakthrough breaks through, when the favor falls like fire, when the doors burst wide open, don't forget where it came from. Don't forget who kept you, who carried you, who covered you. It was God. It has always been God. It will always be God. Hear this now with all the weight your soul can carry. God is not limited by what limits you. God is not confined by your resources, your surroundings, or your status. What binds man has never bound God. What frustrates you cannot frustrate Him. And the moment God decides to move in your favor, every limitation bows. Time submits. Circumstances shift. Human opinions collapse under the authority of God's plan. When God steps in, there is no contest. No opposition can stand. No strategy formed against you can prosper. Because when favor is from God, it carries divine weight. It carries holy momentum. It carries unstoppable power. There is favor coming that will not fit into your old life. God is not blessing who you were. He is favoring who He has destined you to become. That's why some connections had to end. That's why certain opportunities dried up. That's why you had to be pruned. Because the new level of favor God is bringing requires a different version of you. One that has been through the fire, one that has been trained by struggle, one that has learned to trust God when everything else was shaking. God has not given you surface favor. He has given you refined favor. Favor that has been forged through trials, purified through perseverance, and secured by unwavering faith. You've been asking God for answers, but what He's about to give you is not just information, it's transformation. This is not a moment of insight, it's a moment of invasion, where God invades your space, your situation, your destiny, and shifts it all in your favor. This favor will unlock places you thought were locked for good. It will reach places you didn't even think to ask for. It will show up in people you never imagined would help you. And it will come not because you forced it, but because God whispered it into existence. Favor is not loud, it is effective. Favor does not compete, it conquers quietly. It bypasses the systems of men and flows through the will of God. And when it lands on you, things begin to happen fast. Decisions are made quickly. Delays are removed suddenly. The resources come freely. What was difficult becomes effortless. Not because it stopped being hard, but because God started helping. That's favor. Divine assistance in impossible places. Unexpected acceleration when others are stuck. And here is the secret. Favor flows to those who are aligned with God's will, not just God's blessings. If your heart is right, if your motives are clean, if your desire is not to be seen but to serve, then get ready. God is about to endorse you in ways no person can deny. He's about to speak your name into places you've never entered. Your obedience has been noted, your integrity has been weighed, and the verdict from heaven has been rendered. Favor is being released, not temporary favor, not conditional favor, everlasting, undeniable, purpose-driven favor. There are people who have counted you out, written you off, dismissed you, but God has kept you hidden for a reason. Because when you're hidden by God, you're being developed, not denied. And now, the season of hiddenness is giving way to the season of revelation. God is about to reveal what He's been building in you. He's about to show the fruit of the seeds you planted in the dark, the reward for the prayers you prayed in silence, harvest from the ground soaked with your tears. God is not only bringing favor to your life, He's using your life to be a vessel of favor for others. The blessing He is about to pour out is not just for you to consume, it is for you to distribute. When God favors a person, He makes him a fountain, not a reservoir. So prepare to be generous, prepare to be a deliverer, prepare to be a carrier of God's abundance, because what is coming will be too much for just one person. It will overflow. It will pour into your household. your relationships, your children, your community. God is positioning you to be a source of provision, a light in darkness, a pillar for others to lean on. And don't make the mistake of thinking this favor is random. It is precise. God does not operate on chance. He operates by purpose. If He is favoring you, it's because He has found you faithful with little, and now He is trusting you with much. And when God trusts you, He doesn't just give you more, He surrounds you with divine protection. Because favor will attract attention. Favor will trigger jealousy. Favor will stir opposition. But fear not. What God gives, He guards. He will cover you as He elevates you. He will shield you while He promotes you. Favor does not exempt you from the battle, but it guarantees the victory. It means you may still face struggle, but you will overcome. You may still walk through fire, but you will not be burned. You may still hear the whispers of doubt, but they will not shake your resolve. Because when God favors you, He also fortifies you. He strengthens your spirit, He equips your hands for the climb, and He fills your heart with a peace that no storm can take away. So let your posture change. Lift your head higher. Walk with purpose. Speak with clarity. Expect with boldness. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to stand. Not in pride, but in the confidence that comes from knowing God is on your side, that His hand is on your life, that His plan is in motion, that His favor is about to overtake you in ways you didn't see coming. Every delay was divine. Every detour was strategic. Every hardship was training. And now the season has shifted. The signs are already visible. The confirmation is already echoing in your soul. You can feel it. The pressure has been intense because the promise is massive. The warfare has been heavy because the favor is historic. But don't give in. Don't give up. Don't let go. Because God is closer than you think, and the release is nearer than it seems. Even now, the favor is moving toward you like a wave, picking up speed, gaining strength. And when it crashes into your life, nothing will look the same again. Not your finances, not your health, not your relationships, not your future. Everything will be touched by God's hand. Everything will be marked by God's favor. And it will not come through striving. It will not come through scheming. It will come through surrender to God's timing, surrender to God's leading, surrender to the truth that He knows what's best and when it's best. Favor is not just about open doors. It's about divine alignment. It's about stepping into the place that was always yours, but was hidden for a time. It's about being in the right position at the right moment for the right reason. And when you are aligned with God, doors will open on their own. Opportunities will find you. The right people will come. The wrong ones will leave. Because when God favors you, everything around you begins to reflect His will. So rise up in faith. Pray with new power. Declare with new authority. Worship with new fire. Because this is not an ordinary season. This is a season of divine shocks where God proves His promises, not just with words, but with wonders, where He fulfills what He whispered in your spirit, where He brings into the physical what you've only seen in the spiritual. And it will not take long. It will not be subtle. It will be sudden. You will not have to chase it. Favor will chase you. You will not have to beg for it. Favor is already assigned to you. You will not have to force it. Favor flows naturally when your heart is surrendered to God. You've been waiting, but now favor is waiting on you, waiting for you to believe, waiting for you to prepare, waiting for you to receive what God has been holding for the right time. This is that time. This is that moment. This is that shift. Get ready. God is about to shock you with favor that shakes the very foundations of your life. Favor that rewrites your story. Favor that restores what was stolen. Favor that establishes you where you were once broken. Favor that multiplies what you thought was finished. And all of it, every ounce, every miracle, every breakthrough will declare one thing and one thing only. This was the doing of God. Holy, mighty, merciful God. There is something divine about the way God works in silence. When everything around you seems still, when your prayers echo back without answers, when your labor looks unnoticed and unrewarded, that is not the absence of God, it is the strategy of God, for in the stillness God is building something greater than your eyes can see. In the quiet, God is preparing a favor that speaks louder than any announcement. When God moves, He doesn't always warn you. He doesn't always explain. He doesn't need permission, and He doesn't require consensus. When it's time, He simply acts. And when God acts, the earth responds. Situations rearrange, people shift, obstacles evaporate, and all of it points back to His sovereignty. Favor is not always about promotion. It is often about preservation. Before God elevates, He protects. Before He exalts, He shelters. And there are some blessings that didn't look like blessings at first. There are some closed doors you cried over that were actually God's mercy. There were people who walked away, and you called it rejection, but God called it redirection. If they had stayed, they would have sabotaged the next season. If that opportunity had opened too soon, it would have overwhelmed you. So God, in His wisdom, withheld not to punish, but to preserve. And that too is favor. The unseen shield, the silent rescue, the divine delay that was actually a setup for a greater unveiling. Because when God is about to shock you with favor, He starts by positioning you. He moves you out of familiar territory. He unsettles what you once relied on. He strips you of false security, not to harm you, but to teach you that favor comes from Him alone. God does not share His glory. He will not let you give credit to a job, a connection, or a circumstance. When His favor comes, you will know it was only God. Not your effort, not your charm, not your wisdom. It was the invisible hand of the Almighty placing you exactly where He designed you to be. Some of you have been walking through long seasons of barrenness, not just in your finances, but in your spirit. You've been praying, fasting, striving, and yet the door stayed closed. But what you didn't realize is that God was not denying you, He was preparing you. Because favor without maturity is a curse. Blessing without wisdom is a burden. So God had to take you through the process. He had to strengthen your discernment. He had to toughen your skin. He had to deepen your roots. So when the favor arrives, and it will, you won't crumble under the weight. You'll stand firm, unshaken, unmoved, because you'll know this didn't come from man, it came from God. This is why your obedience matters more than ever, because favor is drawn to obedience like a flame is drawn to the wind. It spreads, it multiplies, it intensifies. When you obey God in secret, He favors you in public. When you choose integrity over convenience, when you choose faith over fear, when you choose patience over panic, God sees it all. And He does not forget. He remembers every quiet yes, every sacrifice no one else applauded, every prayer whispered through trembling lips, every tear that fell when you chose righteousness instead of revenge. All of it has been gathered, all of it has been recorded, and the time is near where God will reward you openly for what you did faithfully in the shadows. And hear me now, the favor of God will come in unexpected ways. You may think it will show up in wealth, but it may show up in wisdom. You may expect it in status, but it may arrive as peace. You may hope for it in recognition, but it may come as protection. However it appears, trust this. When it is from God, it will satisfy your soul in ways the world never could. Because God doesn't bless you to inflate your ego. He blesses you to align you with purpose. His favor is not just about comfort, it is about calling. It's not just about elevation, it is about mission. And when God favors you, your life becomes a message. You become a living example of what it looks like when God decides to showcase His power through an ordinary vessel. And others will look at you and know it wasn't your degree, your family name, or your bank account. It was God. They will see the divine fingerprints all over your story, and even your enemies will have to admit, this is something higher, something greater, something no human hand could have orchestrated. So don't be surprised when the shift begins. Don't be startled when things start happening quickly. Favor moves fast. And when the moment of release arrives, there will be no more delays. What you once struggled to access will begin to flow freely. What you chased will begin to chase you. What you feared losing will be multiplied back to you. And not because you demanded it, but because you surrendered to the one who governs the seasons. God is about to flip the script of your life. The same hands that struggled will now build. The same heart that broke will now bless. The same place where you were mocked will become the ground where God honors you. And those who thought your story was over will watch as God writes a brand new chapter in bold, undeniable favor. Favor that silences critics. Favor that cancels debts. Favor that restores everything you lost and then some. And the most beautiful part? You won't owe anyone but God. No man will be able to say, I made them. Only God will receive the glory, because only God could have done what is about to happen in your life. Even now things are shifting. Even now doors are creaking open. Even now the ground is trembling with the weight of what's coming. You may not see it fully,